Hey guys, Steve Simpson here with Central Florida Property Management. Hope everyone's doing great. We made some videos recently about the market changing and about how we use our marketing process to determine what market value is for properties we have on the market currently for rent. And I wanted to take a time to go over basically how this impacts the bottom line in terms of your numbers and profitability for rental properties. So kind of put some numbers and math behind what we're talking about through some examples and so on and so forth. So just kind of a warning, got some spreadsheets coming, math, all that sort of stuff. So here we go. So just kind of start out, let's go over the headers. Monthly rent is the monthly rent amount. Daily rent is monthly rent divided by 30. We use 30 days in a month just to kind of keep it consistent. Days on market, that's basically the amount of time from when we first listed the property to when it leases. So for example, list the property on January 1st, it leases on January 30th, 30 days on market. List the property on January 1st, it leases on January 7th, 7 days on market. Pretty easy. Annual revenue. This is the amount of revenue that's taking into account vacancy loss. So it's not just monthly rental rate times 12. It is how much rent you're making from when you list the property a year from that. So just kind of make it extreme example. If the property didn't lease for 6 months, so half the year it was vacant, you would only take the rental rate times 6, not times 12, because you have so much vacancy loss. And then over here, obviously, is lost revenue due to the vacancy loss. So just to dive into some of these examples, kind of easy example, same property, all these examples are all the same property, right? $1,500 a month, it takes 30 days to rent, or at $1,450, it takes a week to rent. Again, over the course of a year, you're going to make an extra $550 by renting at $1,450, just because you're not having 21 days of vacancy that you did at the $1,500. So basically, you're renting for less money, but because you have less vacancy loss, you ultimately over a year make more. Example two, $2,000 a month, takes a month and a half to rent, or $1,900 takes 2 weeks to rent, saves you about $900 again over the course of a year. Example three, takes 2 months or 60 days to rent at $2,250, or 3 weeks to rent at $2,000. You know, it's basically the same, but the benefit of the $2,000 is that you're not having to worry about if someone's going to come to rent it, right? It only takes you 3 weeks to rent, which is generally considered a healthy amount of time to rent the property, versus 2 months where, you know, if you're 45, 50 days in, you're probably sweating as to when that property is going to rent because you've had no rental income for a month and a half. And then down here, this is an important one for you guys that have properties kind of on the lower end of the rental spectrum. This is a realistic scenario where same property at $1,300 would take a month and a half to rent versus $1,200 would only take a week. You'd be amazed how much even $25, $50 changes to pricing can impact days on market at that low part of the rental rate. And then some real world examples, some stuff that we've seen over the past couple of months, just to kind of put some reality behind what we're seeing. Kind of slight change here for the days on market on this part. The top row days on market is the overall days on market, and the bottom is the days on market after we change the price. So for example, this property is a townhome in Orlando. We initially listed it for $2,200 a month. After, you know, roughly 2 months, we got it down to $1,949 and at least in 2 weeks. The owner effectively lost $1,700 on the rental. Or to look at another way, if we had first listed the property at $1,949, $1,950, it would have leased in 2 weeks. The owner would have made an extra $1,800 for that year. Avalon Park Townhome, initially listed for $2,500. After about a month, we dropped it to $2,400, at least in 10 days. So the owner roughly lost about $1,400 on the year because of that vacancy loss. Townhome in Conway, same deal, listed at $2,200. Eventually rented at $2,100 after about 25 days in the market. Lost about $600 on that. And then a Winter Garden single family home, eventually rented $200 over what we initially listed it for. After about a month, owner lost $500 on that for the year on that. So this is just putting some math behind what we're talking about. Like we mentioned in the prior videos, we use our marketing efforts to determine market value, and I can't stress enough how important it is to get to that market value as quickly as possible. Think about it a different way. If eventually you're going to rent for what it rents for, you want to get there as quickly as possible, right? So just kind of going back to this example, it would have been way better to get to $1,949 right out of the gate than $2,200. But even if you got there after a month, it's better than getting out there after 2. So something to keep in mind. If you guys have questions, please feel free to reach out. I know this is an important subject. So happy to chat about it further. And yeah, hope you guys are doing great. Thanks.